Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we're looking at the long-awaited Halo 4 Series 2 Master Chief from McFarlane. He comes with a railgun and the miniature Cortana figure. We'll talk about the railgun first. Get Cortana out of here for just a minute. It's done pretty well. It's nicely painted, has a few little detail spots. It does have a weapons peg. Unfortunately, mine was glued in, and as soon as I pulled on it, it just broke off. So, I'm going to have to drill that out and use a spare peg. I don't know why that happened. I have never broken a weapon peg off in a Halo gun before, but this one broke right off, so I don't know, maybe it's a softer plastic, I don't know. But whatever, it's still a pretty cool gun, and he holds it just fine. And he does have the hole on his back to put the weapon in there, so that's cool. Let's talk about Cortana now. In the package, she comes like this. I'm assuming the little black piece is just to help her stand up on her own. Maybe it is, yeah, it's probably just for that, because it doesn't have any discernible detail or texture or anything like that. Can she stand without it? She can. So it's not necessary to use it. But if you want to, you can. She is super tiny, by the way. Let's see if I can get it to focus on her. Maybe it's focusing on the paper instead. There you go. She's actually sculpted really well for being this small. And she's only about an inch tall. She stands exactly... Ooh. She stands exactly an inch tall if you don't count the base. If you count the little base thing, she's an inch and a 16th, it looks like. It's hard to tell looking through the camera screen, but she's pretty tiny, so that's cool. And they did a fairly good job with her for being that small. Could have had a little bit of a better paint application, but it's definitely okay. And a little touch up on the hair wouldn't be too hard to do, but she's sculpted fairly well. She's got the booty. She's got the booty from Halo 4, so that's good. And just for comparison, this is the Action Clicks Cortana that I cut the base off of and was using with my Halo figures before that. So the new one is significantly smaller. Not quite as well done, but that's just due to the size. And this one is definitely translucent, and this one is not really translucent at all. It does have a clear base, and it's made out of clear plastic, but the paint is inhibiting that. Maybe she's a little bit translucent at like the shoulders or hips, but not so much. Okay, so Cortana's pretty cool. He can hold her if you put her in his hand using the little clear base thing. You can wedge that between his, like the pit of his thumb. I don't know what you call that. His thumb pit. In his index finger, he can hold it. But since it doesn't have the chip, it's kind of lacking, I think. Definitely would have been nice if Tord made a chip, made her little memory storage unit. I can't think of what it's called offhand, but if he made that, it would have been cool. But it's good enough, so that's nice. Alright, so let's talk about Chief. Is he any different than the Chiefs we've gotten already? Well, of course. Ooh, real quick, one last thing I want to point out. This just made me think of it as I was trying to take her out. She's a really soft plastic. So if he's holding her and you just yank on her, she'll probably tear at the ankles, so be careful about that. Okay, so is Chief any different than the other ones? Of course he's different than the Cryotube Master Chief. The Cryotube has the freezing on him, but otherwise he's the same except for the crotch. Look at the crotch. The Cryotube guy is missing almost all of his armor paint, which is normal. They all had that problem. This guy finally has it. He has his painted cod piece, so that's kind of nice. Same thing with the Series 1 Chief, pretty much the exact same figure, a few minor detail changes here and there in the paint, just like the battle damage on the chest. I don't know if they're supposed to be painted or not, but mine's not on my Series 1. On the Series 2 it is. So that's a nice touch. And again, this guy does not have the cod piece painted. This one does. So that's something to note. Otherwise, he's pretty much the same, you know, just other than factory variation, that kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. As far as articulation goes, it's all the exact same. People were talking about the head being seated differently on the body. As far as I can tell, it's the exact same. They seem to be the same. I don't have a problem with it. I guess some people are saying he doesn't have enough of a neck, but I think he does. It's just that he's wearing a helmet and armor. So, I mean, if he looks up, it looks completely natural. So I'm okay with it. So the head's on a double ball peg or a barbell. Shoulder is on a ball hinge. It's ratcheted. And then, of course, it just swivels around like this. No bicep swivel in the actual bicep. That comes down here at the elbow, which is ratcheted. It's like a ball hinge, but it swivels at the top in the bicep and in the forearm. So that gives you extra articulation. You can put them in some pretty good poses. Then the wrist is effectively the same type of joint. It's ratcheted this way, and then it swivels at the forearm and at the wrist. So that helps hold the weapon. He has a double ball peg in the torso as well. I guess it could be a single ball peg, but I'm pretty sure it's a double. So pretty good range of motion for this guy, side to side, front to back, rotates, no problem there. He's got a ball peg for the hip. It's just like the old school Ninja Turtles. It might be a double, I'm not sure, but it doesn't have the range of motion to find out. As you can tell, it just really, I mean, if you rotate it, you can get it forward a little bit more, but it's really limited, and that's pretty disappointing, I think. The knee is a ratchet this way, although it's pretty loose on this chief, and then it swivels as well. It only swivels at the top in the thigh, it does not swivel in the shin. The ankle is the same as the wrist pretty much. It's a swivel at the shin and in the foot, and then it's ratcheted to go forward and backward. And of course you can rotate that around to give him an ankle rocker, so that's pretty cool. And then the foot, the front of the foot, the toe, is just a ball peg. It doesn't go up too much at all, so it's not really as effective as it could be, but it does work a little bit, and it does rotate as well, so you can get him to stand pretty easily. It's definitely a good figure, worth the normal retail price. Is it worth the Walgreens retail price? I don't know, probably, especially since it comes with Cortana and the DLC. He does come with the assault rifle skin DLC called Riptide, so that's a nice little bonus. I don't know why Todd was bragging about that. He didn't give us the bonus. That's all Microsoft in 343. But either way, pretty cool, good figure. Just in case you don't know, he stands about 5.5 inches tall. Definitely a nice iteration of Master Chief, and if you don't already have one, this is definitely a good one to pick up. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.